Hi, this is Mike Dirks, the Regional Missionary Coordinator for the Presbytery of Ohio. This month, our interview is with James Stafford, Pastoral Intern at Grace OPC, actually working in Springfield, Ohio, with a Hispanic community. So, James, welcome and tell us what's happened since I think last summer was the last time we talked.
Thank you. So we've had a lot of developments that have taken place since last summer. We've incorporated an ESL program as part of our ministry, and we've been trying to do some outreach into the community to use that as a way to meet some other Hispanics who are in the area. We're also looking at starting up a Sunday school class soon. We've been meeting on Sunday afternoons at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And just as part of our Sunday worship and setting apart the Lord's Day, I'm hoping to implement a Sunday school class to give the congregation some more theological training. We'll be looking at using the Westminster Shorter Catechism for that, which is available in Spanish. And besides that, there's just been a lot of the week-to-week worshiping on the Lord's Day. We're going through the Gospel of John. We're in John chapter 12 this week. And then we are also finishing up the book of Ephesians for our Saturday evening gatherings.
So you're meeting both Sunday and Saturday. And I was going to ask you what you've been working through. So John and Ephesians, very good. What kind of outreach things have you done during the last fall, winter to the group or with the group?
So the main form of outreach that we've tried to do has been through advertising our ESL program as a way of getting to know people and to meet people. Now, we have had some visitors come to that, although none of them have come and visited the church as an outworking of that. But that's been the main thing. We've also done some other digital advertising using Facebook. It's something of a difficult situation living in a community that's predominantly American, and then there's a subsection of the community which is Spanish speaking, and trying to make inroads into that community has proved a bit of a challenge. Okay. But we're looking to reach them.
So your ESL, approximately how many students do you have showing up weekly?
Give or take 10 students or so, who are usually people who attend who are members, and I use the term member loosely, members of the congregation who are regularly coming on Saturday evenings.
Okay. So now as we look into the rest of the spring, summer, weather's breaking, what are some ideas you have? I know you've got the Sunday school class with the Westminster Shorter Catechism. What else do you see as opportunities to kind of get into that community of the Hispanic population?
I would like to hold some sort of community events to let people know that our church exists. Digital advertising is helpful, but I think it can only go so far in terms of exposing people to the congregation. And so it'd be nice if we could organize some sort of picnic as the weather gets nicer and advertise in the community for that to invite others to come.
Good. So as you've been working with the group now almost a year, at least 6-8 months, are you seeing growth in their spiritual life? I mean, are they benefiting from the ministry?
Yes, I think they are. They are very, many of them are very faithful in attending worship every week, and not just on Sundays, but also coming Saturday evenings, which for some of them is a bit of a drive. Some of them come from 45 minutes away or so. And they seem to be encouraged. I've been able to do some visitations with them, and they do seem to be doing well and to be growing. Of course, there are other people who you would like to see growing more in their faith, who are maybe less committed, who are more sporadic in their attendance. So I would say that there's a spectrum. There are those who seem to be doing very well. In fact, there's There's some who were baptized as children, members of the Presbyterian Church in Mexico, and who want to make a public profession of faith, but who had never done that before. And then there's another in a similar position, baptized in the Roman Catholic Church, but never has made a public profession of faith. And we would like to see that happen, although there is some reluctance there.
Right. So what's the relationship that you've developed with Living Water in the group? I mean, has there been joint services? How's that relationship developing?
The congregation at Living Water has been very supportive. We have had joint worship services, and in fact, we have another one planned for March 20th. I'm not sure when this video will be released, but that date might have come and gone by then. But joint worship services, we've done that both ways, where the Hispanic congregation will invite Living Water to come, and the Hispanic congregation will organize the liturgy and the hymns and everything. This time around, it'll be Living Water who's inviting the Hispanic congregation, so it'll be Living Water's liturgy. Also, many members of the congregation have been very helpful about participating with ESL, coming to help as conversation partners. We've had good participation from that, so I'm very encouraged by some of the friendships that have developed.
Very good. And now that you've given me a timetable, this will be released before the 20th, Lord willing. Let's wrap it up. How can we pray for the group? How can we pray for James?
One other item that I forgot to mention during our discussion of outreach is a recent development is that there's a pregnancy clinic in town that has received a recent influx of visitors from the Hispanic community. And oftentimes the man will come with his wife or his girlfriend. And this clinic has a program where there's male mentorship while the woman is meeting with the nurse. Then the man will meet with a mentor. So Pastor Doles of Living Water has done this for the English speaking side, and he's there every week. And so I'm looking to get involved with that on the Spanish speaking side, and to be on call for when there's a Hispanic visitor on the schedule that week. So prayer that would prove a fruitful and effective ministry to meeting others in the Hispanic community who are oftentimes in a very vulnerable or difficult situation. It's hard to have a child in a situation where you're not in a good economic position, let alone in a culture where a lot of people don't speak your language. You're trying to find medical help from people who are speaking English and you don't speak English. So that would be one prayer request, is for fruitful ministry there. Continued blessing on God's outreach efforts for the ESL class, and that as much as we want to be genuine in providing the ESL class for the community, we also want to have that serve towards a greater end to bringing people to hear the gospel, so that the Lord would bless the ESL outreach, and not just unto bringing people to ESL, but to the congregation. And then thirdly, for the internal life of the congregation, that they would be able to support one another, which they do well. They do get along very nicely with each other. But I think more and more, as they are able to serve one another, to give of their time to support each other, that'll build the strength of the congregation.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you very much. So just to recap the prayer request for the churches out there: the pregnancy clinic, that ministry to the Hispanic community, the outreach through ESL, that would turn into gospel conversations and engagement in the congregation, and then just the life of the congregation, that they would continue to serve one another well. So very good. Thank you, James, and God bless you, and we'll see you at Presbytery soon.
Thank you.